Are you allowed to be funny when you're in the mafia? I'm so excited! So we're gonna do a single dab. I'm weird. Hear me out. Not half evil. Hi everybody. Welcome back to another video. My name is Charlotte and today we're mood reading because I love a good mood read. Yes, I do have a TBR. Do I often stick to it? Yeah, I do all the time. But we're going to do mood reading today. I have only set like one rule for myself, and that is that I'm not allowed to pick up a standalone book and I'm not allowed to start a new series. I have to keep on reading something that I already started so I can start ticking off these series that I started. Because I read one book in the Magnolia Parks universe. I read one book in the Dreamland Billionaire universe. I've read one book in, is it Lakefront Billionaire? I read one of those as well, but it wasn't novellas. I don't really know if it counts. I read one of the Dirty Ear books in the Dirty Ear series. I read one of the Lights Out series. I've read one in the Off Campus series. I've read 3 of the Yakutar books. Still have 2 left. I read 5 of the Zodiac books. Still have 5 left. I mean, I like apparently starting series and not seeing it all the way through. Because this is the thing about me. I sometimes need a little break from the universe because if I read it back to back, especially like Zodiac Academy, 9 books, I get a little bit felt like I have enough of that universe. I need a break. I need something different. I need different vibes, which is completely fine, right? But the longer it goes before I keep on reading these books, I forget the universe. I forget the people. I forget why I really enjoyed this universe. So it gets harder to pick it back up. So this is kind of me nudging myself into the series again, because the reason that I have, well, except for the Dreamland Billionaire one, I started the second book. It just felt icky. He has to get someone pregnant and get married to get his inheritance. It feels very like early 1900s. I didn't like it. That's a different story. But the other ones, I did enjoy them, and I do want to read the next book because I have them. I bought the next book in the series for a reason. Put Off Campus series aside because I bought the entire series there without even knowing if I liked it. But that's a different story. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on reading series in this mood read. But what books I'm going to read, who the fuck knows? The first book we're going to read is the second book in the Off Campus series. It is The Mistake. This one follows John Logan. I want to say John Legend. He's not in this book. John Logan, or Logan as they call him, and Grace. Logan is a hockey player, you know, as you can see. He does hockey. She doesn't. Apparently he's number 22. And he is a complicated, well, he's not a complicated character per se, but there's a lot going on in his life that you learn throughout the book. And from what I understand, on the back of this one, Grace is trying to find herself and figure out who she is, who she fits in with, relationship with friends, relationship with boys, relationship with her parents. She's trying to figure all of this out, which I think is very realistic for a university student. But I did really enjoy the first one. I thought it was fun. I thought Garrett and Hannah was fun to follow. Not my favorite couple in the world, but it was a good book. So I'm excited to read this one. Well, technically we have to go to past me to start reading the book. And then we're going to come back to present me. And I'm going to keep on reading the book because I forgot to film an intro, sue me. And then we're going to keep on going into future me, but present or past me for you. You know what I'm trying to do, right? Let's jump on in and read the book. This is my new favorite spot to read. I get the sun in the back, which probably isn't best for lighting, but right now who cares? So, I mean, I'm warm. I have my drink close by, and I have my books close by. So I also have my headset. Very happy. I'm very happy right now. This is heaven for me. But yeah, let's start The Mistake and figure out if John Logan can get over this, because I don't know if he can. Well, apparently he can. Because Grace, you know? I also wonder what her last name is. Do you ever get to know, do you think? Because, I mean, he is college junior John Logan, and she is a freshman, Grace. I wonder if she has a last name, or if she's like Penny from The Big Bang Theory. You know, last name, who this? I'm gonna read. I'm gonna enjoy my book, and I'm gonna read now. over halfway through the book. You see? Juicy. And I have to say, I don't think there's anything that's more sexy than a man that knows what he wants and he's willing to work for it. Because that is Logan in this book. He knows what he wants and he is not afraid to work for it. I also really enjoy seeing the personal growth in Grace, because it's not really in your face, but she does make decisions that does, you know, impact her life and how she sees stuff and how her friendships evolve. And it's really nice to see. It's really nice to see like big personal growth, especially in a book that is set in university, because they are big years for personal growth. I think I never went to university, but I have been that age, and it is a big, like, it's when you figure out like what you want to do, who you want to do, and for how long you want to do them. But I mean, a lot of friendships fail, a lot of friendships evolve. Figuring out who you are and not who you are with someone else is a big part. So I'm here for it. I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm on chapter 21 right now. I'm about to see Logan's point of view. I am enjoying Logan as a character, but I think Grace is what is making the book for me, because her quirky side, I adore it. And I do also kind of adore that when Logan meets her quirky side, he isn't automatically turned off. I don't think he realizes it, or maybe I am reading too much into it, but I do feel like when they meet and he really sees her quirky side, it intrigues him, because she's not just, you know, there to jump his bones. She literally, the first time they meet, reference Ted Bundy, and then he references Ted Bundy later in the book. So it's just a nice thing, I think. It's just a nice thing. And I don't think that's a spoiler, because it has literally nothing to do with this storyline. It's just something funny that happens. The writing in this one, I do enjoy it more than the first one, but I have a feeling sometimes it's like that. The first one is, in a weird way, always a little bit more serious, and the second one, or the third one, is usually where the humour kind of comes into it. I don't know if this is like an author thing, or if it's a writing style, because I can't remember. Graham, which I figured out his name is, his name Graham. I'll call him Graham. And Hannah's thing. Oh no, he's not. That's his last name. Garrett. I can't remember being like, oh my god, Garrett and Hannah is so funny. But Grace is really funny. I love Grace as a character. I mean, she's turning out to be, so far at least, you know, favorite FMC from this book, but it's the second book, so. But, you know, still, it's great. I love it. I adore it. I'm going to lay in bed and read for a little bit. Then I'm actually going to strip the bed. I'm not looking forward to it. I got new bookshelves. I'm going to show you guys. My new bookshelves after I read a little bit. And I'll come back to you when I'm done reading. And we're going to pick the next book in a series. I'm not going to start a new series until I've finished a series. Or at least I've read all the books in that series as of right now. Tom is out for a drive with one of our kids on an ATV, and I thought I heard them. But he just called. I have to go and rescue them because they're out of gas. So we're going to read more when I come back. So if my location changed, it's Tom's fault, okay? First of all, if you can hear my kid, he's playing Astrobot and he's very excited about it. And I'm not going to tell him to be quiet because it's a Sunday and he's having fun. So you're welcome. What happened? Oh yeah. My reading time was spent rescuing Tom and my youngest kid because they went out of petrol. So I did that, and then we went to the venue, the house where we're gonna have our wedding, and then we actually went for dinner with Tom's family. It was very, very nice and fun. Watched qualifying, and then I was so drained afterwards. Not because of his family and not because of that, but because I had like a 14-15 hour day on Friday because I went to work and then to IKEA. Then we built everything from IKEA, and then, you know, yesterday it was just go again, it felt like. So I didn't you know, film that much. I did finish this one, and I don't really know what to say about it, but I think if I read this series before I read like the DC Star series and the Windy City series, I would enjoy it way more. But because I didn't, I've read 2 books in the DC Star series and I read all of the Windy City series. This one isn't my favourite. This just feels like, I don't know. It's not a thick book, but maybe it was just my mental state yesterday because I was so drained and because it feels like I've been borrowing spoons from the days in front of me. Maybe that's why this one just felt a little bit too long and drainy for me. I needed something more to happen to keep me engaged. Because what was happening, like the topics in these books are not necessarily easy. Like the first book on the first page, I was like, wait, am I reading this wrong? Do I not know what this word means? And then this one as well, there's also like a heavy theme around family. So not heavy in the sense that, you know, it might be triggering if it's something that you have in your home situation, but it's written in an easy way to read. It's not goofy, funny, ha, but it's also not, you know, Voice of Tom and sad. The heavy theme, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. It just, I don't know, because it was there and then all of a sudden something happened and I don't know, it wasn't there, it was fixed, or they tried to fix it, I don't really know. It felt a little bit rushed for me, but I think that was my mood. I don't think it was the book. I think literally it was me in my head and I probably should have waited for today to finish it, but I really wanted to read. That's all I wanted to do. Like, I really, really wanted to read. And I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I have like 5 pages left, but now I'm not going to read it, you know? So I'm going to give this also a 3.5. The first book was also a 3.5. It's not a bad score. It's a good score. It's just not as good as the previous mentioned series for me. Personally. But I am intrigued. I am intrigued about the show and I am intrigued about reading the rest of this series. I am a little bit scared about reading the 5th one though, because that one, people don't like that one. Maybe that's the one I like then. And when I was done with this one, I was like, what am I going to read now? And I was debating if I was going to read Ride With Me, which is a different sports romance, but it's Formula 1. It's the 2nd book in the Lights Out series. It came out a few days ago. And I was like, no, I don't really want like a sports romance right now. And then it hit me. What's my favorite thing? A single dad. So we're going to do a single dad. Well, that sounded weird. We're going to read about a single dad. And I know that Cade, which is the MMC from this book, is a lot of people's like single dad awakening, because he's very grumpy. This is Grumpy Sunshine, and like you can read a sentence on the back of this and understand that it's Grumpy Sunshine. I read a chapter yesterday and I have an ick in a book and it happened in the first chapter. Not a good start. It's not a good start, but I am going to keep on reading. Because the ick I have, especially in single dad books, I feel like it's so common and I think that's why I have it as an ick. But I didn't mind it in Caught Up, like the 3rd book in the Windy City series. I don't know. I think it's because the way, I think it's just a typical type of grumpy dude that gives me the ick, and he gave me the ick. Maybe it was also just my mood. Maybe when I keep on reading, and today when I've had like Tom let me sleep in, and I'm not gonna do anything today. I'm gonna watch charades, and I'm not gonna do much. Maybe this is like the day where, you know, I start reading and I actually really enjoy it, and I'm gonna eat my words later on. But we'll figure it out. I don't know. So I'm gonna keep on reading this series now. It's the 2nd book in the Chestnut Spring series. This one is about Cade, and I do not know the nanny's name because it doesn't say so on the back, but it does say so in the book. Just give me a second. Wait. Cade. Okay. Willa. This one is about Cade and Willa. Cade is a single dad and he is running a farm. He's a yeehaw boy. It's a yeehaw romance, and Willa is going to be the live-in nanny to take care of his son Luke. That's kind of all you need to know. I didn't know the names, but, you know, I was like, yeah, this is insert name here, and she's gonna live with insert name here, who's a single dad. But yeah, that's the premise of the book. I do have a feeling that this series as well is not going to be like, oh my god, I love it. I'm obsessed, because I am obsessed with her Rose Hill series. Can't wait for Wildcard to come out. I am so excited for Wildcard. And this is the series before the Rose Hill series, right? It's the Chestnut Spring series. There is room to love them both. There's more books. I might end up really loving it. This might be one of my favorite series at the end. But the fact that I had to Google the names of the MMC and the FFC from the first book, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign when I cannot remember who the siblings are in the book. It's not. It's also my own fault because I don't read them back to back to back when I have the opportunity. And I also can't remember shit, so, you know, that's also a thing. I keep on telling my friend the same thing several times, and I keep on asking her the same question several times, but luckily she laughs at me, so, you know, that's good. I'm gonna keep on reading this one. Oh, I'm gonna go into my reading chair in the living room so I can feel like I'm also kind of hanging out with my kid. And I might put on the audiobook because I do have the audiobook. Yeah. Also, I know this is a weird thing to say maybe, but I feel like even though these books aren't that old, because they're not, do you guys sometimes, when you listen to an audiobook, you can kind of feel that the audiobook is a little bit older? I don't know if that makes sense. Does it make sense? I don't really know. But that's what I feel. When I listened to the audiobook from this one, I was like, oh yeah, this one doesn't feel like a newer audiobook. The narrators, nothing wrong with them. That's not the point. I don't know. It's just like in the way they read it, maybe. Maybe the reading, like the way newer books now are being voice acted is different from what it was when this series came out and this series came out. You know what I mean? But there's nothing wrong with the narrators. It just feels older to me, but maybe that's just an ADHD thing and it's literally just in my brain. I need to go take my medication. I'm going to go take my medication and then we're going to read. I am about 20% into the book right now. I'm reading on my Kindle, but I do like having a physical book close by. I'm weird, that's fine. But yeah, I am enjoying it so much. I don't really know if I know Cade that much. I feel like being grumpy is just like his character. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get to know more because there is a story there, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to learn it as our FMC learn it. But Willa, the FMC, I really like her. She's funny. She puts people in their place, but in like a nice way. There was just like a thing where one of Cade's brother tries to say, well, boys will be boys, and she interrupts him and go, no, boys will be gentlemen. And I fully agree, because we cannot keep on being like, oh yeah, boys will be boys, and then just leave it at that, expecting that to be an excuse, because it's not. Boys will be gentlemen. So I really like Willa. I think she is a fantastic character so far. And I just realized who her brother is, because her brother has a book in the Rose Hill series, and that made me like it even more, because I just realized who her brother is, and yeah, that makes me more excited, which is, you know, in hindsight not that important, but whatever makes you happy about a book whatever makes you happy about a book makes you happy about a book, right? So I am enjoying it. The people that now know that I'm reading this say, and have read the series, say that this is their favorite in the entire series, which makes me very happy to read it, but it also makes me not want to read the rest of the series, because if this is as good as it gets, why would I want to keep on reading, you know? Not that, I mean, I might disagree. I might read the next one and be like, that's my favorite, or the fourth one and be like, that's my favorite. I know I'm not supposed to, take other people's word for it, but I like hearing what people's favorite book is in an interconnected standalone. But I do kind of like hearing it after I'm done with all of the books. Because if the favorite book is book 1 or 2, why would I want to keep on reading unless they rave about the other books as well? And so far, it's only been like, oh yeah, this is my favorite, and then nothing more about the series. You know what I'm trying to mean? I hope you know what I'm trying to mean. But yeah, 20% into it, I am having a lot of fun. But now I'm gonna maybe lay down on the couch, maybe I'll sit here. I don't really know. I'm gonna keep on reading until Tom and the kids come home. Have I been sitting in this chair almost the entire day? Yes, I have. Did I finish it? Also, yes. I read one chapter before I went to bed yesterday, and I kind of devoured it completely. Like, I'm done. I read all of these pages. I'm done. It's over. I mean, the series isn't over. There's like 3 more books. But this one is. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I enjoyed it. I did devour it in a day, so I mean, I had fun with it. But now that I've read the Rebel Blue Ranch series, it feels like I'm reading the same stories but with a different font, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of them, like not just those two, like any sports romance, anything. You can collide an icebreaker. It feels kind of like the same book but with a different font. Maybe I would enjoy it more maybe I would have enjoyed this one more if it was a while since I read the Rebel Blue Ranch series, but I did read the Single Dad one 3 months ago, and the fourth and final book in that series I read like 2 months ago. So maybe it was just a little bit too close to the other one, and I have to say I could not for the life of me remember people. Like, I knew that Summer from the first book, there was like a whole storyline there. I couldn't remember it. When they brought it back up again, I was like, oh yeah, that's correct, that happened. But it didn't stick in my mind. And I have a feeling that the same thing is going to happen with this one. This isn't one of the stories where I'm going to be like, oh my god, yes, I'm going to remember everything from it. That doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means that it doesn't stick out. So, you know, it's not a 5-star series for me. But yeah, I mean, I had a good time. Maybe this one is also like a 3.5. Did I enjoy this one more than I did the other one? I mean, I did. I kind of did. So maybe the mistake is like a 3 and this is a 3.5 because I did enjoy. No, they're kind of the same. They are kind of the same. I am going to give it a 3.5 just as of right now, but I might change it at the end of this video. I'll go over all of them at the end of this video and we'll see what we end up with. But yeah, this one down. I'm ready to pick up another one. Okay, so I have like a teeny tiny little confession, and that is that I haven't read a single book for this video for like a week. Hear me out, okay? I was going to read Ride With Me, which I was very excited about reading, but then I realized that the audiobook doesn't come out until June 12th, and that's at this point in 2 days. And I was like, I need an audiobook. I need an audiobook because I'm gonna be traveling a lot. I have a dress fitting, I have this, I have that, blah, 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 blah. I need an audiobook so I can keep up with my books while I am driving and while I'm doing housework. All of that fun stuff that, you know, being an adult is all about. So I took a little break, but we're back. We're back and we're gonna do Caught Up. This is one of my most anticipated reads all year. I was obsessed with Lights Out. I did buddy read it with a friend of mine. She actually got this book early. I don't know if she started it or not, but I'm so excited. I do not have words about how excited I am. This is like, I don't know how, like a dark rom-com-ish type of book. At least Lights Out was like a dark rom-com. I have it right here. I have it. It's the second book. It's the second book in the series. And this one is about Nico Jr. It's Ali from the first book's cousin, and he has kind of an obsessive personality, let's just say. I've read one chapter right now and he's obsessed with the same girl he was obsessed with in high school, and he does what he can do to help her. I think he also just maybe not accidentally killed someone because of something that happened when they were teenagers, but I might also be wrong because I've only read one chapter. But still, Nico has a very, very obsessive personality. He has decided that Lauren is his. Lauren is also an adult worker, so she's also working towards adult workers' rights. So she's like an activist for adult workers, but she also works as an adult worker herself. So she kind of knows what the people that, you know, in the movies stand on the corner asking if, you know, you want to take them for a ride. She also knows what they go through and what they need. He is, like I said, just obsessed with this woman, and I don't really know if she knows what she's in for, and I don't really know if he knows what he's in for, but we'll figure it out together. I don't really want to give you too much because I love going into books blindly, so why wouldn't I also want you to go in blindly? But that's like the premise of it. He's upset. Well, he's probably upset at some point as well. He's obsessed with Lauren, and Lauren is just thriving and not really. I have a feeling that she doesn't really know that a lot of the stuff that's happening, like some of the things that she has been able to do in her life, has been because of him. And I'm very excited for her to figure it out like Ali figured it out, because I have a feeling she's also going to be just like the baddest bitch. And in the first chapter, there was also a nod to Ali and Josh, which I found to be very, very nice. And I do hope that we get a little bit more of a nod to them later. Even if you don't need it, you kind of get a nod to what happens in this book, but still, it's fantastic. I am so excited, but now I kind of have to go, because if I don't go, I'm going to be late for work. Even though I have a pretty cool boss, I don't like being late to work. So I'm going to bring my Kindle, I'm going to keep on listening to my audiobook, and I'm going to talk to you guys when I'm back from work. If it's not too late, because I do have to go out straight after work as well. Because like I've mentioned probably 1,000 times over this video and over the other videos. My wedding is like rapidly coming towards us, and my mom called me in panic yesterday because she didn't have a dress to wear. So I'm gonna go dress shopping with her. Okay, we're gonna go to work. We're gonna go to work and we're gonna make everybody that comes into the store buy this book. I'm not. I work daytime. There's a lot of old ladies. I don't know if I want to give them a heart attack. But yeah, I'm so excited. I am 28% into the book. I've read 9 chapters. I'm just about to start chapter 10. And in my head, I was like, oh, this is going to be a funny, haha, stalker romance, you know, where the dialogue is going to be a little bit funny. It's going to make me, I don't know, shits and giggles, you know, like the first one did. So far, that's not the case. It feels darker than the first one. Junior feels, in a lot of ways, more dangerous than Ali and Josh did from the first book. But that might also be because in hindsight, like when you read the book, you understand that Ali is kind of the one that's used to the danger. Like, you know, I don't know. But I am intrigued. I am having a lot of fun. I'm just not, you know, kicking my feet, giggling like I did with the first one, but I am still having a fun time. It's just a different time than I was expecting. But yeah, I mean, I'm flying through it, you know, 28% into the book, and I've been at work and everything. The audiobook is also very good. I do enjoy the narrators. I do think that they are telling the story in a good way. So, you know, hats off to that. But I am also reading a little bit, and I don't think it's going to take me long to read it. It's very, very easy to read, easy to understand. But if you're not into smut, basically, this is not the book that I would recommend, because they are literally at a special club. You gotta be into the smut to like this one. Like I said, like, not because that much has happened right now. It's not an Insta thingy, but they do talk about it, and she works with it. He buys it. It's a common theme throughout the book. Let's just leave it at that. I'm gonna keep on listening to the audiobook actually, because I'm gonna go out. I need to get some stuff that I didn't get earlier today. But yeah, I am having fun. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it. Please do not get me wrong. I am enjoying it. It's just not as funny. I still think when the first book, like when I had such a good time with Lights Out, I enjoyed it so much. It was one of my favorite books that I read last year. I think I should just know that it's hard to top it. I'm gonna keep on reading. It's like 7:30 a.m. We're gonna inhale breakfast in like 2 seconds, and then we're gonna go for like 4-hour drive. That's beside the point. The point was that I finished caught up, and I'm a little bit conflicted on what I feel about it, because on the one side, I did enjoy it. I thought the story was kind of lacking. I felt like the story was just, I don't know, being horny all the time. And, you know, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with exploring your sexuality, no matter your age, like as long as you do it in a safe, consenting environment, like, you know, you do you. But I don't need to read about it for God knows how many pages, okay? And I felt like that was the plot. I felt like the plot was a horizontal tango. I didn't feel like the plot was necessarily what was happening with Junior and his family. Yes, it was there to give context, but I didn't really feel like that was it. And I know a lot of people say that you kind of have to read between the lines, and it's about found family and creating yourself and taking control of your own destiny and all of that stuff. It just felt a little bit simple for me, because I felt like the taking care of your own destiny part of it was literally like a few chapters. There was so much more beforehand that I didn't feel like had anything to do with, I mean, it did for her, but not for him. And she already kind of decided her own destiny way before the book even started. And I thought it was a stalker romance, but I didn't feel like we saw that much stalking in present time in the book. So I got a little bit confused. Like, it was a second chance romance, but it felt weird. It felt weird. It felt weird for me. It felt weird. It felt weird. And yeah, and I know it's my fault. Like, in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a funny, dark rom-com type of vibes again, you know. Junior is also gonna be funny. Junior is also gonna be a little bit twisted. It's all good. And I don't know. Are you allowed to be funny when you're in the mafia? I don't know. I don't know that many people in the mafia, to be honest with you. I didn't find him that exciting. But I did talk to a friend about it, and here's my theory. I think Caught Up has like middle child syndrome. So people really enjoy the first one. Sadly, the second one people haven't enjoyed that as much. And then the third book is gonna bring it all back around again. I have a feeling like that's kind of what's going to happen, because if I understood the author correctly, Caught Up was done, like completely done, in August of last year, and Lights Out took off just a few months before that. So Junior's story was already written, it was already kind of put out where Junior was going to go with his story. So the aspects of Lights Out that the internet and the world loved, maybe it was kind of too late to implicate it. But also, I'm not that hyped about the next couple. I don't really see where this is going to go at all. But I am willing to be surprised. I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars at the end. It's not a bad rating, it's not, but this was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. So, you know, not being able to give it a higher score feels a little bit sad. But 3 stars is a great score. It was okay reading it. It wasn't bad per se. It just wasn't what I expected. And at the end, I didn't really feel like a lot of the things that in my head were supposed to be in the book. It wasn't in the book, but it's on me. It's not on the author. It's completely on me. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's my rating. 3 stars. 3, 3, 3. No, not 3, 3, 3. Not half evil. Well, I mean, that's fitting because he kind of is. But yeah, 3 stars. That's it for this reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.